Okay, with my turn video, we're gonna do the reaction top 5 craziest moments caught on dashcam. Yeah, right. I haven't watched it yet, but why not? So why not?
Millions of drivers now have dash cameras installed in their vehicles.
Yeah, who does?
In the past few years, they've captured some amazing moments on video.
The best driver in the world.
Crazy moments caught on dash
Jeez. Driving on 2 wheels.
Number 5.
What's this?
This driver in Vietnam is heading into town when suddenly he notices something's wrong. He sees small pieces of debris being blown into the
People
sky.
are running. What the? Why in the heck would they be running?
To a life or death
Oh,
situation.
frick.
Buildings start collapsing around him.
Oh, jeez. Oh God, that guy. Oh, jeez. I think you should get off your motorcycle. Yeah, I'd say run too. Oh my God, the car. Oh, jeez. Oh, that almost hit him. That car. Oh my God. It's not a tornado. Jeez. Someone died. That's good.
Number 4. A Transasia plane crashes in Taiwan.
Oh, oh my God, that almost cut off that guy's car. Jeez, bad driver. Like the plane, like, oh my God. He's like a pretty lucky guy. How? How in the heck?
Sadly, 43 people died in the crash and only 15 passengers survived.
Ouch.
Number 3.
Oh, forest fire.
Major forest fire broke out.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's bad. Oh, jeez. When? You're making it worse. You're. Oh my God.
A sudden change in wind direction blows the fire towards the road, causing
Oh my. Jeez.
through a literal hell on earth.
Jeez, yeah. Hell on earth. Agreed. That literally does look like it. Like, this is when this is like when a disaster, like literally. This is like what's something gonna do in like 100 years, 100 million years. To the year. Not kidding. Dude, at least like 2 people died in that fire. Is that a purple? Well, I can't see, but that is blinding my eyes. Oh, geez, yeah, that way, go that way. If you go that way, you're gonna go straight into a tornado? And that way, you're gonna go in a disco. Oh my. Jeez, is that like literally like a nuke dropping or something?
Number 2. This driver captures a stunning moment on dashcam
Yeah.
Heathrow Airport in
That's just so
Moscow.
shaky. What's the problem? What the? Oh, that guy almost fell off the bridge.
The plane overshoots the runway and crashes into the road directly behind.
A plane? A plane? Is that a plane? Who knows if it was flying?
Forced to take evasive action to avoid parts of the plane from hitting them.
Oh, one of the cars didn't even try avoiding one of the cars.
Emergency crews are immediately notified to help the passengers on the plane. 4 people are taken to hospital, including 3 flight attendants and another crew member. But sadly, both pilots, the flight engineer, and 1 flight attendant are killed in the accident. Number 1. It's another stormy day in Taiwan, and this driver is keeping a close eye.
No, McDonald's. It better not be McDonald's, or else like I'm ending this video. Oh, he's gonna be McDonald's. Oh, uh-oh.
And barrels down the mountainside at high speed. And a few moments later, this happens.
Oh, is this? What? This literally. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, world's luckiest guy in the world.
No matter how good of a driver you are, accidents will always happen. You can't trust other drivers. You never know when the universe may be against you.
The
If you
universe?
enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe for more.
Jeez! And I can say that. Jeez. Wait, how long is this video? It's only 5 minutes. Wait, I'll make it a tiny bit bigger. Okay, we're gonna do one more.
Making a mistake at work isn't usually
Okay.
a huge problem. Maybe you messed up a customer's order, or you forgot to input something into a spreadsheet. Chances are it was easy to fix. However, there are some instances where a mistake ended up costing
Oh,
billions
jeez.
of dollars to fix.
A whole entire bridge.
Disaster to the Hanshin
That's
Expressway
like
collapse. Here
a
are
car, like
five of the most
biggest,
expensive fails
like a
in
world,
history.
like, I don't know. Your nuke just dropped into the ocean.
Piper Alpha was an oil platform set up in the North Sea, about 120 miles
Piper
away
Alpha?
from the coast of Aberdeen.
Piper, I don't care.
It initially began production in 1976 as an oil-only platform, but over time, gas production was added to its uses. In 1988, disaster unfolded as a simple mistake led to the structure's untimely
One
demise.
mistake.
On July 6, 1988, a pump's pressure safety valve was removed for regular maintenance.
The pump.
It was temporarily sealed with a disc cover, and there were instructions made that stated not to switch the pump on under any circumstances. One
Jeez.
shift ended, and another.
Hey, man, I'm not here to
Somehow,
learn.
the instructions disappeared.
I'm not-
And since the on-duty custodian
I'm not
was
here to
busy,
learn.
no one was
Here to
informed
watch
about the
videos.
condition of that pump. Eventually, the pump was turned on, resulting in an explosion. The overpressure was too strong for the temporary metal disc to withstand.
Jump off.
and
Do something.
gas
Die.
began leaking out at an incredibly high pressure. Gas
Okay.
fires broke out, with 167 men losing their lives. The total cost of the disaster is estimated to be around 1.7 billion euros, making this one of the most expensive man-made catastrophes ever. An inquiry immediately began to look into the cause of the disaster to try to avoid another catastrophe like it again. Survivors of the wreckage, as well as relatives of those who died, created Piper Alpha Families and Survivors Associated, which campaigns for safety issues concerning the North Sea.
Oh.
A memorial depicting 3 oil workers was erected in the Rose Garden at Hazelhead Park in Aberdeen. In 2008, 20 years after the disaster, a stage play titled Lest We Forget, which was commissioned by Aberdeen Performing Arts, was staged. It's a heart-wrenching story, and one that could have been avoided with proper communication between the two shifts.
Wow.
At Philadelphia,
Ugh.
you know what makes them
Sorry, it's late at night.
cream cheese. You need only the
Like
freshest
10 o'clock right now.
That's one. And the world's best.
Who done it?
Also the only.
Dude, I hate ads.
Philadelphia. Schmear perfection.
Looks good though. Dude, I'm not here to. I'm here to watch. I'm here to. I hate stupid genie. 4.
On January 17th, 1995, a 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck the city of Kobe, Japan. The earthquake only lasted for about 20 seconds, but that was all it needed to devastate a city, requiring decades of
Oh
repairs.
my.
While numerous buildings were destroyed, one of the most substantial damages to occur
Ooh,
was to the Hanshin
jeez.
Expressway. This structure was the main transportation route between Kobe and Osaka. While the structure should have ordinarily survived such a quake, research that went on after the quake found that the expressway had an inadequate structural design. This stemmed from insufficient and prematurely completed longitudinal reinforcement, insufficient shear capacity.
It's not funny, but it's like, how did a
The
brick
collapse of this structure
tip
made
over?
headlines all over the globe. Many people
Man.
were caught off guard, believing such expressways to be safe.
I was,
10 spans of
like,
the
5
expressway
people had
ended
it
up
or
getting
something.
knocked over.
That
It took
bus
over
is
a year for
lucky.
the structure to be rebuilt, and
That
it
bus
officially
is
reopened
lucky.
on September 30th, 1996. The estimated total repair cost to get the Hanshin Expressway back up and running was $4.6 billion. It ended up only
Jeez.
being a small fraction of the total cost the
Oh
earthquake
my
caused.
god.
When looking at the damage caused as a whole, some estimates put the repairs at $200 billion. But expressways can be rebuilt. The 6,434 individuals who lost their lives, nearly 4,600 of them in Kobe alone, can never come back. But the region was resilient. For the 3 months following the earthquake, 1.2 million people volunteered as part of the relief efforts.
Oh my god.
In November of 2002, the oil tanker MV Prestige was carrying 77,000 tons of heavy fuel oil in the sea when things
November?
took an unexpected turn. The 26-year-old vessel got caught up in a storm, and it burst the tank on November 13th off the coast of Galicia, Spain. The vessel tried to try and mitigate some of the damage, but the Spanish, French, and Portuguese governments
It's not very much close,
on
but
November
it's close.
19th, the vessel sank completely about 130 miles off the
The
coast.
19
In
is
total,
not really
it's
good.
estimated that it spilled 17.8 million gallons of oil into the sea.
Jeez, why do you do it oil?
Thousands of miles of coastline and over 1,000 beaches on the Spanish, French, and Portuguese coast ended up suffering. It became the largest environmental disaster in the history of Spain and Portugal, with the amount of heavy fuel oil exceeding that of the Exxon Valdez incident. In 2013, a court ruling came down that put the overall cost of the disaster at 368 million euros, which comes out to about 494 million US dollars. Following the disaster, the captain of the vessel was arrested. However, in 2013, 3 high court judges found that it was impossible to create any kind of criminal responsibility for anyone on board the ship at the time of the disaster. The captain was, however, found guilty of disobeying government authorities who wanted him to take the tanker as far away from the coast as possible. At 78 years old, the captain was given a 9-month suspended sentence. After an investigation, it was determined that the vessel was structurally deficient and should never have been out to sea in the first place.
Really? That's unlucky. Dude,
Lake Payne was a lake located in Louisiana. It had a maximum depth of 200 feet, making it the deepest lake in the entire state. For many years, it was a popular destination for sportsmen until one fateful day in November 1980. On that day, an exploratory drilling company that operated on the lake accidentally drilled into a salt mine owned by the Diamond Crystal Salt Company. It wasn't long until the entire mine started to fill with water. The ensuing sinkhole swallowed the entire drilling platform, including 11 barges that were holding supplies for the drilling operation. It also took with it numerous trees, 65 acres of local terrain, and a tugboat. So much water was removed from the lakebed that the flow of the Del Cambre Canal was reversed. This caused salt water from the Gulf of Mexico to instead flow into what used to be a dry lakebed. Fortunately, all 55 employees who were in the mine at the time of the disaster were able to get out safely. No human lives were lost. In the aftermath of the sinkhole, Texaco and the drilling contractor Wilson Brothers had to pay $32 million to Diamond Crystal. They also had to pay an additional $12.8 million to a nearby plant nursery and botanical garden for out-of-court settlements to compensate for damage the sinkhole caused. In addition to the costs, the event also permanently impacted the local ecosystem. It changed the lake from freshwater to saltwater. It also increased the overall depth at the deepest point of the lake. One of the most famous man-made disasters in history occurred on Saturday, April 26, 1986. On this day, a safety test was being performed on the RBMK-type nuclear reactor at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the city of Pripyat. The test was supposed to provide a simulation of power. During this test, there was a gap of roughly 1 minute that caused the nuclear reactor core to overheat. It was expected that the residual rotational energy of the turbine generator would offer sufficient power to cover this lapse. the power unexpectedly dropped to a near zero level. Operators could only restore partial test power, which put the reactor in an unstable condition. At the time, the operators didn't know of the risk, so they continued with the test. Once the test finished, the operators triggered a reactor shutdown. A combination of design flaws as well as the unstable conditions resulted in a nuclear chain reaction. Roughly 49,000 individuals had to be evacuated from the area, most of them from the nearby town of Pripyat. The
I'm ready for it.
worst nuclear power plant accident to occur in history.
Really?
In terms of casualties and cost. The initial cost for the cleanup
Wait, I didn't
efforts
hear
were
about
estimated
this.
to be at 18 billion Soviet rubles, which would be
I
about
heard about
68
this.
billion US dollars adjusted for
Yeah,
inflation.
there's a power plant and like all the gas they fell and a lot of people died. And the thing, like, all the radio, like, just came out and killed so much people. Some people, a lot of people didn't die, but a lot of people did.
Throughout Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. Are there any other man-made disasters you'd like to see us do a video about in the future?
No.
Let us know in the comments. Otherwise, be sure to click the link on screen to check out our video of the 5 worst man-made disasters in history. As always,
My father, the other son, and dinner. That's it. Oh. Well, that's it for today. I just wanted to react to some stuff. Jeez, I was like, you can tell when I was super scared of McDonald's. Like, that's my life. Like, McDonald's is like literally my life. It's like me dying. Well, have a good one. Bye.